important. I've been quoting this book, but some of you already heard it multiple times. Some of you are new. Again, thinking fast, thinking slow, right? The idea of outcome. So process is important, being self-aware, keeping journal, treating it as a business. We have a webinar on Friday. I'm going to spend more, and tomorrow on Yellow Tunnel, 12 p.m. Chicago time, 1 p.m. Florida time, Eastern time, New York time. And then the Friday, 9:30 Chicago time or 10:30 New York time, or 8:30, 7:30 LA time, 7:30 LA. So very important, right? So I encourage everybody to keep a journal. Positive, negative visualization can help you with the prospect theory, right? When the trade goes against you or in your favor, if you decided when you're going to exit the trade beforehand, then Prospect theory, you can minimize the effect of endowment, right? Give negative visualization before you get into a trade, putting them in the journal, decide what your target gain, stop loss, and exit position. And the most important rule is position size, right? For risk management, for the current market, it's all about position size. How do you determine position size? Inside this market, I think it's actually relatively straightforward, right? You basically look at support and resistance level. You clearly in the past, what is it, 3, 6, 7 session, it's a 50-day moving average, right? So 430, somewhere between 436, 438 is your resistance one. We have to clear the, based on earnings or geopolitical events or macroeconomic data. Bulls want to clear the 50-day moving average and trade decisively above that, not for 3 or 4 sessions, but 1 or 2 weeks to stay above 50-day moving average for the bull market to resume. So that's one outcome out of this box, right? We've been trading in this box, I would say, for quite some time, right? Maybe months. We've been trading in this box, the gap or the initial August sell-off. So this is outcome number 1. Outcome number 2, we could be trading for another couple of weeks in between this tight range 430 to 436. Probably unlikely, but possible, right? So the outcome that we're just trading in the range, right? That's the second outcome. The third outcome is, worse than expected earnings, escalation in one event, or interest rates continue to kind of going high, right? 6 days. But you have to have a tight stop losses and target gains, right? You get to 434, we're approaching 432. That has been a good entry point, right? If you feel that doesn't have any prospect theory or emotional, right? It's kind of just does what it's doing based on price and volume data. It basically says 431, consider buying, 439, consider selling, right? Neutral range. It's if you're in the middle, it's a flip of a coin. 431, 3 out of 4 times it will bounce back. 439, 3 out of 4 times it's going to sell off. If you're buying at 439 or you're selling at 431, you're probably doing the reverse, right? And you want to be kind of aware of that. Let's say you follow the stock forecast toolbox and you think that we will reach this support. What is your stop level? Probably last week low, right? If it dropped below this level, you want to get out, right? Maybe 1%. Right, so your stop loss is about 1%, maybe 1.5%. If you don't like to day trade, we could be at this level by end of the day, right? Based on the news. We have beige book at 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Chicago time. Your stop loss is October lows, right? This is probably 200-day moving average. For now, this is considered to be kind of a healthy pool. 2 to 3 months, we're not going anywhere, going lower highs, lower lows. So that's not really good, but bulls are still kind of in control if you look at the long-term trend, right? So the question is, are we heading, this way eventually, right? This is one outcome going into the end of the year, or it could be a little bit deeper, right? That's kind of the most argued scenarios, right? Everybody have a consensus that positive GDP, better than expected earnings, and we're heading higher. But before we're heading higher, do we stop at 420? Do we stop at 428? Or do we stop at? Meanwhile, we are in the middle of the earnings season. United Airlines is down 6%. So again, one of my favorite strategies is selling out of the, beyond historical and estimated move. So I have 36 and a half put, 36 and a half. So I'm within 80 cents, right? So let's look at the prices. It doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, take a loss, right? 100% certainty loss. Usually risk aversion, you don't like to take loss. Or I can try to defend the stock. Or I can just on a $10,000 portfolio. So if you did 1 or 2 contracts for now, you're not down $250. You wanted to see that answer. So right now it's only been 3 minutes. So for now, I'm going to put an order and kind of first 15 minutes decide, is there a bottom or is it just going to fall apart? A lot of it depends on market conditions. It is. Let's see, what did I sell it for? 13 cents. Let's try to close it for 10 cents. and I'm gonna monitor the trade. All right. Others, it's with 151. So I did sell 152. So then I have to monitor that trade. Airline, let's see. And then I would watch spiders and see how we're doing on spiders. Apple is down 0.5%, Google is up. So it looks like we're off the session lows. Right, so let's see if we're going to close the gap or continue to pull back. Yeah, but let's look at up 70 basis points. Okay, so I'm out of calls. Put. Procter and Gamble put. $37.20 is the bottom. Morgan Stanley continues to drop. Put. So you did do Morgan Stanley, right? I said 76 put. It's in that range. So you have to, same thing, you can either take a loss. I didn't do it in Yellow Tunnel Trading Block account. You can either take a loss or you can try to defend by selling short the stock. Right? Selling short the stock. So that's another alternative. Let's see, United Airlines 37. So it looks like it's holding on now. It's 10 minutes, so maybe 5 more minutes. All right, so United Airlines we have to defend. And Morgan Stanley. Procter and Gamble is still out. So watching the United Airlines. Let's see, okay, let me look at the questions. All right, so now, well, okay, so 11 minutes, 15 minutes. We'll see if this holds. Okay. So Morgan Stanley, you could sell short half of the share, right? If you did 100 shares, and you can sell short 50 to defend, because it's been, let's see, how's the market doing? Spiders are looking to continue to trade lower. Semiconductors are down 2%. I assume this is due to ASML partially. See how's ASML are doing better than investment banks. Okay, banks are up. Thank you, Bob. Finally found the bond moving higher. We're at Procter and Gamble, right? Procter and Gamble. So ASML, right, down 5%. So that's putting pressure on semiconductors and QQQ. Let's see, semiconductors are actually, I think, retesting 200-day moving average or close. Okay, not 200, but okay, so yesterday's low and 141 low. All right. So spiders are approaching the support level, right, around 430. Well, yesterday's low, 432. I think on the yellow tunnel. Let's look at yellow tunnel. Desk, Autodesk and Akamai. Autodesk. Better, yeah. So Akamai has Fortinet. 15 minutes. Okay, let's see. Where's the United Airlines? So 37.20. So it looks like it's holding on, not dropping. But it's not rebounding either, and the market is down, so that's not good. Yeah, so it looks like it's pretty. Let's look at Morgan Stanley. I'm trying to find support. So United Airlines down 7%. Procter & Gamble continues to grind higher. So Procter & Gamble. Let's just review other investment banks struggling. Pepsi to have bottom. Other staples and discretionary. Yep. Coke, Pepsi, this is all staples, considered to be staples, not discretionary. TLT breaking all-time lows. So yeah, so we are kind of backing away, but to see if that support holds. But you have small caps rolling over, semiconductors are rolling over, and strong price action in silver. Silver continues to rally as well. Germany is down, Europe is down, China is down 1%. So kind of a broad-based sell, and NVIDIA, right? Most important, not most important. Magnificent Seven. Google is actually not going anywhere. For now, Morgan Stanley staying at a similar level. All right, any other questions? Silver, I think I would be a buyer, but I would use dollar cost average, right? Because but short term it's a little bit overbought, right? And you can see volume is dropping, so. So looks like Morgan Stanley is breaking down. Let's see, 15 minutes. Yeah, so it looks like it's approaching 75. It doesn't look very promising, so I'm out of Morgan Stanley. All right, United Airlines. United Airlines looks like, it's not rebounding. This is not good, so it's staying. I have a choice. I can sell short the stock if I see it breaking down, maybe half of the shares. Short. Okay. Call, right? I'm bullish was the short put, but I'm bearish was the short stop. Right? And now I'm trying to minimize the loss of that short put, 36.5 put. So if I can capture 20 cents, 30 cents and close the put, try to break even, maybe just minimize the loss. But right now I'm locked in and just we'll see where the market is going to go. Semiconductors, let's see. Looks like it's retesting yesterday's low. Sun is down 2%, QQQ down 0.5%, Spiders down 0.5%, sitting on the support. United Airlines, Morgan Stanley 17. Airline. Let's put an order to try to close it. So 36.98. Let's see if I can capture maybe 1% would be 40 cents. So 36.50. 36.50. Trying to close at 36.50. Right, let's go over the rest of the positions. All right, in terms of positions, Apple, so I do have bearish Apple position. Do have the call. Let's see, Bank of America. Goes for 3 cents, 2 cents. 20, Bank of America is at 28. Okay. It's at 176. I'm still, it's, between moving average, that's not a good setup. Earnings is in 2 weeks. I mean, we do have Tesla today. We do have Netflix. So there could be kind of a pair trade. Netflix and Tesla announces earnings. Apple could be moving in a similar direction. But for now, it's bear. CVS continues to grind higher. So I'm still holding. Lilly dropped yesterday, it rebounds. So it's holding on to the 600 level. It's holding on to the 600 level, which is positive. Maybe even add to it. Basically say, well, if it drops below 600, then to LA Lilly. Okay, so I did add to LA Lilly. November, I mean, it's October, right? October spray, and that's not good for the market, right? And the fact that 30 years at 5% and potentially another interest rate. So that's not good. And I think that will continue to put pressure on the market. Yeah, so NVIDIA is retesting. Very important support for NVIDIA. I mean, bulls want to see this level defend at 400 to 380. Very important level. If you bears still have SH, if you're not comfortable buying put spreads to hedge your portfolio, you can buy SH or PSQ, inverse ETF. Still managing United Airline trade. TLT, still small position TLT and United Airline. So let's go back to United Airline. We have 10 minutes left. So it looks like United Airline is pulling back. Trade then the option. Put, right, it kind of continues to deteriorate. I don't want to take a risk, so I'm going to close the put. So I closed the put, right? I collected 13 plus 13, 26. So down 40 cents, around 35, 40 cents. And now trying to recover that in the stock. And it's getting close to. So, I mean, if you did half of the shares, you're down maybe half of that value, right? If you did 1-to-1, you're basically almost breaking even at this point. Breaking even. So I'll put 36.60. What is it? 9:11. We have 4 minutes left. Let's just get out of this trade. But this is one way to defend your position, right? All right, when your face was either take 100% certainty on the trade, right? I mean, I could have done this here for 30, 40 cents. Instead, I closed for 50 cents, but then shorting the stock. So one way to defend. And, this idea of market neutral strategy, whether it's mirrored put, mirrored call, cover call, inverse cover call, spreads, the idea that you can be long, that will help you to minimize some of the losses. Because sometimes you can see we're talking about 10% move in United Airlines, and we got closer to 10%, which is bigger than implied volatility. And let me know if you have any questions on United Airlines trade. I mean, the short, buying back the short stock. All right, so I'll manage it. I mean, if it gets above 37.21, maybe close the short stock because it is oversold. It is oversold. Precious metals up because of global unrest. I think so, yeah. I mean, definitely geopolitical risks are weighing on the current market conditions. So you do have divergence, right? Dollar continues to rally. Dollar continues to rally. But gold and silver also rally. We haven't seen that for quite some time, right? So that's a sign of geopolitical risks. Fred, yeah, Morgan United. I mean, Morgan Stanley. I mean, it was a loss, but again, I shorted the stock. Same thing was United Airlines. Shorted the stock, so that was kind of managing the short stock position. I missed it by a couple of pennies. Okay, okay. Apple is working after, so that's good. Yeah, Apple is going in the right direction. No, it was. I mean, we're off the session lows. We're significantly lower, at least on Apple. All right, so we retested yesterday's low, and we do have a bounce back. But still pretty bearish price pattern. All right, let's see. Nvidia down 3%. Lily, ExxonMobil. Okay, energy. Do we want to have energy? Let's see. MUR. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it is breaking out for day 1 to day 3, probably one of the stronger stock, 15 days till earnings. I would use the stop level. I mean, if you're aggressive, 47, if you want to be a little bit, give yourself a little bit more time, room, 50-day moving average, right? That would be probably a line in the sand, maybe, $2 stop loss, right? That would be $200. And you can split it into two, right? So maybe 50, 50 and 50 shares. So I'm gonna start managing MUR. Murphy Oil buy. We'll do maybe 40 shares. On $10,000 account, maybe 40 shares, 50 shares. Use as the geopolitical risk escalate. And again, split it into two. So maybe half of the shares, try to capture 2% is 80 cents, so 48.80. And then try to capture 5% on the second half of the shares. The 49.80. But we have to be mindful of the earnings. Fred, United, thank you. And I think it's still hasn't reached my level. So if you still have short stock, I would use this maybe as a stop level. 37.24. It's been in this level for quite some time. It looks like it's third green candlestick, then you have a rebound. In rebound, you can have 38, 38.50, so you don't want to wait for too long. Abbott continues to go higher. Procter & Gamble. So it looks like consumer staples, healthcare, people are I'm gonna try to find some reprieve. Oh, certainly indignant back. Welcome back. 5D2 Walker, welcome. Any questions? I'm glad you guys are able to join. Let's see if there are any questions, comments, show chat. CMG. T5D2, absurdly indignant. Any questions? You can. We'll do it next tomorrow, another broadcast. So try to join us at the opening bell tomorrow on Discord. Thank you guys. All right, so I gotta finish United Airlines. Looks like it's trying to find the bottom. I'm out of Morgan Stanley, right? It revisited 75 level. And in terms of market, Apple's turning positive, Google's turning positive. So you can see that it looks like defend this level, right? 432, what we've talked about for quite some time. All right. Let's see. That's all I have for today. Thank you very much. I appreciate your, if you can click on subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please click on subscribe. If you find these videos useful to help you navigate current market volatility, please share them on social media, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. How's the broadcast actually? Not sure if we're doing broadcast now. How long? How's the video quality? Okay, it's much better. All right, very good. So please hit like, subscribe, bell. Scott will be. We'll have another broadcast on YouTube, so please join us at the closing bell, and then Scott will lead the session.